people are still complaining about Onana. Want to ask, has Onana proven himself worthy of the money they paid for him? What do you think?
The answer is no. The answer is no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they paid how much for him again?
I think 55 million.
55, which again, I mean, that's nothing to turn your nose up at. And I think that getting so used to big clubs spending 80 to 100 million, we take for granted how much money 55 and 50 million still is. Like, that's still a big price tag to put on a player. Yeah, man, he has not really, I think at least, proven to be worth that money. I personally am in the camp of the people that thought maybe David De Gea should have stayed. If he had been if he had still been on the team sheet on the roster, would he be starting right now? And the answer is probably. I think.
Yeah.
A lot of United fans don't appreciate Onana being there either.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't seen him play well, just not they haven't seen him play well for them, because that's also the thing. You know, we see he's not playing well this season. It's kind of objective. But he has it in him to play well. It's kind of a Kai Havertz scenario as well, where in a lower league, playing very well, and then getting to the top league in the world and underperforming based on the expectation, as if the skill level that they possess will not drop in quality the higher up they go in the teams, like in the ladder of the leagues. Very, very few players are going to be able to play at the exact same level in the Premier League as they did in Serie A or Bundesliga or Liga 1. Like that's just the way it is. That's what's going to happen. So it shouldn't be a surprise that he is not performing at the same level that he did at Inter Milan week in, week out against teams that are just not as good on average as the Premier League sides. But he is kind of a bit he's very shaky in his decision making and his distribution out of the back, and that was the whole point of getting him. Right? Yeah. But then also you do have to take into consideration, and I don't put it in that big of consideration as some do, trying to validate mistakes. But I mean, look at his back line. He does not have many options in the back. Constantly people moving in and moving out.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Maguire that is not really starting, but is, you know, when he does, it's not. He's very shaky. Lindelof is, I think, just slightly less shaky than Maguire. That's a scary prospect. I think that guy is consistently in your back. I mean, it is. And again, another player that if he goes somewhere else, I think that he does play well. I think he plays well at a mid-table side in the Spanish league, which is not a big, that's not a knock. That's the second best league in the world. So it's always funny when that's considered an insult. And then, you know, Varane, that is past his best years, but is still solid. I think that a lot of the issues are himself, but then also team errors in the back that really then highlight his ability to get frustrated very quickly. So yes, I would say that he's not proven to be worth that money so far. Some people are going so far as to say that he's the worst Premier League signing of the season so far. What do you think about that?
Oh, aye.
Now keep your national bias aside, because that's a thing also. Like, we got to call this out. Cameroonian to Cameroonian, you got to figure it out. I mean, you can agree that he's not playing as well as he's expected to, or as well as he did at Milan. Do you think that he is the worst Premier League signing of the season? And if not, then who?
Well, first of all, I would say it's 50-50 in the sense that it's difficult to get a goalkeeper of that caliber, and the team is also playing the style of football they play right now. It's not even football. You watch them every time. It's like kids still trying to figure out how to play. It's difficult too at the defense, and you get it's supposed to be a modern day goalkeeper where you build from the back. With whom are you gonna build from the back with at United, right?
It's a mix of them not playing well as a team, but then also the guys in the back are just not quite skilled enough for him to be able to comfortably do what he does. Yeah. Like, no one's playing particularly well, but then also, I mean, when you had Bastoni and Skriniar in the back with you, that mobility, that makes a big difference. But even Skriniar is not playing as well as he did at Inter, at PSG now. Yeah. It's a very interesting thing. But, like, for Onana to be able to do exactly what he does well, everybody has to have that same sort of athleticism and fluidity, and everyone in the Manchester United back line kind of feels stuck in the mud a little bit.
Like really, I watched a little bit of the highlights on the Sheffield game. He looks like they look like they played a little bit better
Well, they should
at the,
against the bottom ranked
yeah,
team as well.
at the back, and that's the whole difference, and that's the whole point. Now the other 15% would be, yes, he's not playing very well or expected, or the expectation for him hasn't, he hasn't been up to that task yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, it's really interesting because even if you take De Gea in his first 9 or 8 games, 8 or 9, he conceded 10 goals. 2011, 2012. I think everybody's also forgetting. They say, "Oh, we wanted De Gea back." De Gea wasn't good in the first 9 games, 2011, 2012 season, and everybody can go watch. He wasn't this super De Gea. He became like that. Now, Erik Ten Hag is expecting Onana to step up, which is true because there's some goals that he considered that he should have caught it. Especially when they played against Brighton, he should have caught it. It just goes all around as Onana getting I think he should try to get his confidence. I think his confidence is low
Sure.
right now,
Yeah.
and he got to get his confidence back. He has to play as Onana of Ajax, Onana of Milan, that we've seen. But again, it will be really difficult with the style of football that's in place because if you go watch Onana in Milan, it was easy to build from the back, and it was also in terms of being the goalkeeper. It was also easier for him because he knew the defenders were there to save him. At least they had a defense.
Yeah.
Because for a goalkeeper to concede or to play very bad, it has to be something that's blatant where we can really attribute all the errors and faults to the goalkeeper. But once it's the defense, it becomes difficult because once the defense start making a lot of errors, the goalkeeper can't save the day. It's gonna be really difficult.
Yeah.
So I think Ten Hag has to sort that out, and Onana also has to understand that playing in the Premier League, the fans are not gonna let that go. With this a certain expectation for him
You can't
playing
take it
at
personally
United.
when they
Yeah.
do that.
So he has to step up the game too. So that's kind of what I would say. That's not it's just like 50-50 because there's a 50% that we have to understand that the team itself is very bad, and the other 50% is Onana has to, like, the goals that everyone can see that he should have caught it due to probably timing or just getting off the line, all this type. He should catch. He should make those save. But the goals that he cannot because of the defense, there's no way that should be the error. Again, United right now, it's more of every player as a scapegoat. At the time, it's like
Especially Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
So it depends. Like every week we gotta find who is the one to blame. And for me, I already said my piece. I said Erik Ten Hag, he has to go because he might be a good tactician, but he's not a good manager. And you can tell. So it's gonna be really difficult to see this United team prosper.
When I think that also, when you really think about what was being said about Onana when he came in, it wasn't even a like, look, man, this is a solid goalkeeper. We need someone to replace David De Gea, who is a club legend for us, but is past his prime, and it's best to just let him go. No. They were wanting to, everyone, not just Manchester United fans, they were wanting to tell you, Onana is one of the best in the world. He might be the best in the world, especially with his feet. Like, there's a lot of baggage coming along with that, and that's another big issue with the Premier League and their fans. And again, it's not a knock; it's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Most Premier League fans don't watch other leagues.
Yeah.
Because they know, and it's true that it is overall the highest quality league in the world. It's their domestic league. Why should they watch the other leagues? And I mean, I have reasons why they should, because a lot of the matchups are exciting. They play different styles of football. And really a lot of English fans, Manchester United fans, didn't really see a lot of Onana until the Champions League final. Or maybe the run in the knockout stages to get there, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't see him week in and week out for years. They don't know exactly what he does, but what he needs the rest of the team to do for him to perform the best that he does as well. So you start seeing guys come in and misfire, and after being told that they're at this level, and then all of a sudden they make certain mistakes, in and outside of their own control, then the English fans are very quick to dismiss and go, okay, well, no, he's not good. It's like, no, he's still a good keeper.
Yes.
There's obviously things going on, and he's not able to do his best. And that's that. It's removing an entire bit of play style from any athlete is detrimental to their overall quality and form, no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
if they do 3 things that make them world-class players, and now they can't do one of those things, they can only do 2, that's going to immediately impact the quality of play everywhere.
Everywhere.
You're removing tools from their tool belt that they need, that they had, and that they were at that level of quality because they were able to access them.